Just get it real quick. So he said, Matthew 11:6, he said, blessed is he who that is not offended in me. You know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing. Matthew 24:16 lines right up. Go ahead. I got it. Matthew 24:16. It says, what was it?
That nothing which be in the Judea, flee into the mountains. Matthew 24:16.
For the one for the word we just looked up. What scripture was that? What was that?
Say one time.
For the offended.
Offended. Matthew
What verse?
24:10.
I said 16. Salaki. It said Matthew 24:10. So in Matthew 11:6, it said, blessed is he that shall not be offended in me. You know what I'm saying? We looked up that word offended. It means to stumble, to trip up. You tripping up and you're going like, and the reason you're going, because you can't, you don't know what's going on. You don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn doubles. But we're going to keep going. It says Matthew 24:10. It says, and then shall be many offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Okay? So it says, Matthew 24:10, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Once again, Matthew 24:10, and then shall many be offended, and then and shall betray one another. So this is just all prophecy. All these people being offended. These goddamn devils being offended. They're being sent over here offended. You know, but they can't do nothing that the Most High doesn't veto. You know what I'm saying? We're in that furnace of affliction, man. Are you privileged to be in the furnace of affliction? We just said it, man. Matthew 24:10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another and hate one another. You know what I'm saying? Verse 13, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. So right now it sounds crazy to be talking about you're gonna take these concubines and you're gonna do unto them double what they have done unto you, and Yahweh Shai, he coming back in ships and all this other stuff. Got the rock of offense.
Isaiah.
Yeah, because Isaiah's in Isaiah. 8:14. 8:14.
Isaiah 8:14. And he shall be a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling.
One more time.
Isaiah 8:14.
Isaiah was a prophet. Go ahead.
And he shall be for a sanctuary.
So, and he shall be for a sanctuary, right? Going into also that why the Most High don't deal with buildings. It said he shall be for a sanctuary. See that? He don't deal with churches, man. Go ahead. So-called buildings named church, titled churches.
And he shall be for a sanctuary.
See?
But for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense.
See? Blessed is he that shall not be offended in me. A rock of offense. He said, because they have no defense. They have no offense. They're offended, man. Right? One more time, Bob.
Isaiah 8:14. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense.
So your house was set up for people to not get it. That's why when he came, he was put to death, because you people didn't understand him then, and you don't understand him now. You the same people back on the earth, man. All right? It's the same thing. You can bring that out.
Second Peter.
Okay.
2 Peter 2, verse 3.
Is it the same thing?
And through covetousness.
First Peter.
First Peter 2:8.
2:8, lock it. But yeah, man, that rock of offense. Yahweh Shai is that rock of offense, man. Are ye offended? Blessed is he that is not offended, and he shall be for a sanctuary, and for a stone of stumbling, for a rock of offense. Right? He that big ass rock you walk across the street on, don't see, you trip on. You know what I'm saying? You people stumble at the word. You hear little things like, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. They gonna take this as all according to the Bible. That's the gospel. You think Esau we had a history of having all these things happen to us, and this man ain't gonna have nothing of the sort happen to him. And he just get away with it. But you believe in God. You people bugged the fuck out, man. Y'all bugged out. Are you offended at my language? Didn't Yahweh Shah call people dog, a woman a dog? Did he call these people generation of vipers? Come on, man. Cursing people out. Go ahead.
1 Peter 2, verse 8. And a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense.
Hey, this is so-called, this is New Testament, right?
Even to them which stumble at the word.
They don't get it, man. You don't get it. One more time. All right?
Even to them which stumble at the word.
See that? From the top, from the top, from the top. Focus up.
1 Peter 2, verse 8. And a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. Even to them which stumble at the word.
So if you stumble at the word, you committed offense. You know what I'm saying? It says, get 1 Peter 4 and 7. 4 and 17. It's either 4 and 7 or 4 and 17. Judgment shall start with the house of God.
1 Peter 4 and 17. For the time is to come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh?
See that? You offended. You gotta obey the gospel. The gospel say we're gonna do all that. The gospel, let's get into the gospel. Go to I think Isaiah 61. Isaiah 61. It's all throughout the Old Testament. That was don't you know the Old Testament is the first account of the gospel? It was called, what is gospel? The gospel is glad tidings. Greek word is what's the Greek word for gospel? It's I forget it off the top of my head, but the meaning is good news. It's glad tidings, man. This thing is serious. After this, we're gonna get the gospel. Then, like I said, we're gonna go into the petrodollar. Matter of fact, we're gonna get the gospel afterwards. Let's just get the gospel lined up. This is the gospel period. I'm telling you about good things. Glad tidings, it's all throughout, man. It's all throughout. Yeah, we can get it. You can get it at 61. You can get it at 60. You can get it get it Jeremiah.
We got Luke 8.
You should get some in Old Testament. Not Esau point.
I'll just look up the gospel.
Because what people don't know, the gospel is the same gospel, is the same glad tidings that was prophesied about in the Old Testament, which Yahushua came to preach about. That's why he said this gospel shall go to the four corners of the earth. You think it's just a coincidence, so-called Negroes, Native Latinos, so-called Seminole Indians is popping up, and we're saying all this good news for us. You know what I'm saying? That's the gospel, man. We actually read the scriptures. Nothing. You gotta look at the other one. Go to I don't know. Let me see. You see, you think we don't know the scriptures, Esau?
Alright. Luke 1:19.
No, the Old Testament. Yeah, he put it in both of those. That's crazy. Just we can call it off the top of my head. It's it in 61. I just want to get them to see where it said glad tidings at. Nope, it's keep going until you get to the prophets. Go to like Isaiah, Jeremiah. That's mainly where the glad tidings at. First preached it. Those rates coming up right there. 40. Yes, that's a 1. 41. 52. See? That's talking about the gospel. He bring good tidings and publish salvation. See? Well, we was just in 61, right? Oh yeah, it's right there. I'm tweaking. Go ahead. So we're gonna get Isaiah 61, and then you can just look at the other ones that is in. Because that's the gospel. It's just been throughout all of those. It's at 61. Go back to your results. It's in all those ones you see. We can go to 45, and I think that was Isaiah or Jeremiah, etc. But let's go ahead and go to this petrodollar. Now, so this week, right? Bring this out real quick, and we get the gospels. All right. So this is the breakdown. So the petrodollar, since we're going into geopolitics, basically, is pretty much goddamn Esau. In 1973, he made a deal with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one of the main houses of what people know as oil. Petroleum. You know, petroleum Vaseline, that be in a little yellow jar with the blue top on it. That's the same thing. You know, Old Spice is made out of petroleum. People know petroleum to be oil. Now watch the deepness of this. So it's 1973, and I know we all went into it, but in 1973, America made a deal with Saudi Arabia to basically defend Saudi Arabia's defend Saudi Arabia's oil fields. And the bargain was that basically, since Saudi Arabia had all the oil, right? And this is how deep this is. This is what the whole world is about. This is why all the wars are set up and America's in everybody's business. This is what all the beef is about. Oil runs the earth, right? But let's get to the deal first. 1973, Saudi Arabia gets together with America. They sign a deal about America basically using their military, offering their military forces to defend Saudi Arabia's oil. Now, if I'm Saudi Arabia, it makes sense because niggas can come just jack me. Who got the best fighting force and wants to shed the most blood? Esau. Because his gift is what? The sword. Now, this is why to this day no one tries America, right? This is why we can come out here and stand here and shit don't get bombed. To know that 9/11 was set up by America's own government, they had to fake that people will bomb here. You know what I'm saying? People won't try to bomb here. Not then. You know what I'm saying? The Most High literally gonna have to make these countries man up and bomb this place. They do what the hell they want. Look at all the blood this man has shed. No one wants to, because why? No one's like Esau. People don't want to go to war and kill. People don't want to do that shit. But anyway, this goddamn devil, and it's proved the scriptures. This goddamn devil, this serpent, this goddamn demon, he goes to Saudi Arabia and he offers these people his military force to protect their oil. Because they know, since you got all this oil, and everybody's gonna have to come to you for the oil, hey, let us get in with you. We ain't gonna tell you this though, but let us get in with you and just offer you our military. We'll back you up. Make sure nobody touch that oil. But this the catch, right? You gotta sell this oil only in US dollars. So you can't sell this oil to anybody unless they come to you with US dollars. This how the dollar becomes popular. Thus how you get the term petrodollar. What is oil? It's petroleum. That's all it is. Where does petroleum come from? The earth. This goddamn devil have taken a natural resource of the earth, and you know what why oil is so important? Why they're now, let me say this first. So that was the reason why he did it, because it was gonna make his dollar popular. We offer you our military forces, you ain't gotta worry about nobody robbing you, bombing you, cause they ain't wanna bomb us. We done put work in. Jake tell you that in movies. We done laid the murder, he tell you that and paid in full. Man, I laid the murder game down to let nobody know, to let them know ain't nobody fucking with us, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, what are you doing, man? Jake like, what you doing? That's Esau. Esau basically Rico. Alpo. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say Rico, Salakia. Anyway, so the goddamn devil, he's using that as a means to basically own that oil. Because if I'm defending your oil, who really own that oil? You see that? But in hindsight, if everybody could only buy, we sign off on this agreement, everybody gonna come to Saudi Arabia, right? That's why they've been in Iraq and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go to Saudi Arabia and they're gonna buy the oil from Saudi Arabia. But they're only gonna be able to do it if they translate, they transfer their currency, right? China come, they wanna buy from Saudi Arabia, let's say, cause it's 100, I think they say it's $100 a barrel for some oil, right? Which ain't shit. That's not, you can't do nothing with that barrel. That's showing you how much money this thing is gonna make as we get into it. It's $100 a barrel. If China wants to come and buy that oil from Saudi Arabia, they gotta come with US dollars. How the hell they gonna get it? This deal happened in 1973. The dollar wasn't that, it wasn't the world's trading currency. It wasn't the world's, I think it's the Federal Reserve. The dollar bill is traded in every country. Until about 10 years ago when people started dropping it due to the prophecies and the waking up just happening more and more, right? Because it's only for all this is about the Israelites. But they gotta come and bring that US dollar. So now China looking around like, oh, you know what I'm saying? They gotta go and find a way to get that US dollar. So in the midst, it makes the US dollar becomes popular. And popularity is